Our parents, Randall and Diana Effner, were married on September 24, 1971, making this year what would have been their 50th wedding anniversary. Although they have both passed on, we, their daughters Leela and Sarah, would like to honor them and the profound lessons we gained from their journey. Mom was a talented artist, a dreamer with her head in the clouds, while Dad was her anchor, bringing her back to earth with his deep philosophical thoughts and his daily dependability. Despite being opposite in many ways, they built a solid foundation from their shared dreams and ideals. While Ivan, Sarah, and I were still young, Mom and Dad decided to move from Peoria, Illinois, to central Missouri, where they bought a piece of land that was part of a community of families following a healthy diet and lifestyle. There, they embraced the country life, complete with wood stove heat and an outhouse in the woods. Abandoning the comforts of the suburbs was not easy for Mom and Dad, but we know they felt truly fulfilled and happy to give us an environment where we could explore nature, ride ponies, help with the garden, and run barefoot down the dirt roads. While building Dad's dream timber frame cabin on the farm, Mom and Dad also built a collectible doll business. In 1988, they bought and began renovations on the historic Mercantile Building in Jamestown, Missouri, just 2 miles from their country home. The 2-story, 7,000 square foot building became Mom's studio and a place where they hosted many workshops for doll makers from around the world, as well as a gathering place for various community events. In 1990, they formed a company called Expressions that produced doll molds for doll makers to make their own porcelain dolls from Mom's sculpture designs. That business took off with the introduction of the Erin doll, which was soon followed by Emily, Molly, and Kayla, who also became instant favorites among doll makers. As Expressions continued to grow, they quickly outgrew their space in the Mercantile, so they added the Expressions building and warehouse next door and continued to introduce new designs for the doll-making industry. Looking back at their small beginnings, it is humbling to realize that all of these dreams that they achieved together may not have ever come to be had their marriage not survived many difficult tests, especially in the early years. Mom used to tell us of the difficult time before they moved to the farm. They were struggling to make ends meet while taking care of 3 little kids, and the hardest part was that there seemed to be no love between them. Mom went to a priest for counsel, and even he advised her to get a divorce. But somehow at that moment, she became determined to stay and work on their marriage. She realized that she had been influenced by popular culture to take a casual attitude about marriage, and she decided instead to follow her conscience. In doing so, she found there was a light at the end of the tunnel, and their marriage took a turn for the better. Beside all the wonderful things our parents built together, our family grew in love and eventually in size, with a 12 beautiful grandchildren and 6 beautiful great-grandchildren. When Dad passed away suddenly in 2014, Mom was pained at not having had the opportunity to say goodbye and tell him what he meant to her. One day, not long after he passed, she poured her heart out to him, hoping and believing he was listening. She communicated all the things she wished she could have said before he died. In that moment of sincere reflection, she felt his spirit impress on her a vision of the sacredness of marriage from an eternal perspective. Her heart was at peace. She hoped their story would be a reminder that the challenges our marriages face serve a purpose, and when these tests are endured and overcome, it will lead us to true spiritual blessings and closer to God.